Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers, and I'm your instructor for Andy 245, and we're going to be talking about Module 8, posting your character. So we're going to start with a new character, and the name is Boney. So we're going to go to File, and we're going to click on Open Scene. Make sure you set your project. Make sure you get the rig into your scenes folder of your project. If you haven't done that, make sure you go to project window and create a new project, whatever you want to call it, and create a file structure. When you're done with that, once you create a file structure, you're going to want to download the Boney rig from Module 8 and go ahead and copy and paste that into the scenes folder. And then you can open up Maya and you can go to File and set your project. Okay, set it to the project that you just created. And then you can go to File, New Scene. So create a new scene. Okay, and then go to File, Open, and you should be able to see it. It's going to come up as Ultimate Boney version 1.0.5. And notice that it's an MA file. So you'll click on it, and you're going to click on Open, and click on Don't Save. And you'll see this error that comes up. That's fine. There's some nodes in here that just did not go through, which is not a problem. So just click OK that you understand. And then you'll see a warning, and you'll see this down in the scripting area. And you just ignore that by just clicking off the object. If you see a red strip or red stripe, that's basically a failure. Yellow is just warning you that some stuff didn't come through. Not exactly sure what didn't go through, but it looks like everything is fine. One thing I do want to let you know is that you cannot save this as an MB file now. So Maya always wants to save in its native MB file format. And MA is also a native format of Maya, but it's more for scripting. So whenever you have a complex rig like this, it's got a lot of scripts and a lot of things that are attached to it that are not normally just a model. When you create a model, it's usually pretty easy to save it as an MB file. This one has a lot more expressions and intricacy involved in it, so it has to be saved as an MA file. So I'll show you how to do that. So once you get it popped in here and propagated, we want to right away save this. We want to save this file as File, and we want to save Scene as, and we want to change this because this will come in as MB. You want to save this down here at Files Type to ASCII, my ASCII. Okay, and I just called mine Ultimate Boney Start _01, and so I went ahead and saved that. Since I already did that, I won't do that. So, and this is what we get. So the reason why I save it right away before we do any type of posing or animation or whatnot is because you don't want to have anything on here. You don't want to pose it and then save it and then realize, oh, because you'll have to get all that stuff zeroed out again, which can take a long time, honestly. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that back where it was. And the next thing we're going to do is, because the way this is set up, and we'll talk more about how things work with this, but right now I want to talk about how to set up a quick select set. Because normally when you are, let's say you move his arm and you move it up and whatnot. Whoops, something happened here. It has an issue with basically keyframing everything, because when you're animating you need to keyframe every one of these, and you can see how horribly long this would take to select all these controllers. That's what these are. These are controllers, and I'd have to select all of these all the way through all these and then hit the S key. Okay, and the problem with that is doing that and then moving his arm up a little bit and animating, just doing that little movement, I have to go through and do all this again. And there's a faster, better way than doing that. And that's called quick select sets. So let me go back to where I had it with no keyframe on it. So, all right. Now the reason why we want to do quick select sets are, of course, to save time, but also when you're doing key poses for an animation, if you don't select all of these, you know, a lot of you are thinking, well, why don't I just click on that? And you can see that it selects everything. Well, that's not how it works, because if I do this and I move it over like that, and I set the key, okay? Now, the thing is, it set the key for just this, okay, and nothing else. So if I click on his leg, you can see that there's no key set, okay? There's no mark there that tells me, that red little line that tells me that there's a key there. So you can do that all the way up the body with all these controllers, and you'll see that there's no keyframe. That's a problem, because if you are doing a walk cycle and you forget to key one of these little items, and then later you want to key that item, it's going to move when you don't want it to. Okay, so that's super important, right? So just so you know why we have to make sure we key all of the controllers at one time on whatever key we want to animate on. Okay, another thing you can't do is select this and delete history. Okay, a lot of times I've basically drilled into everybody's minds that when you're modeling and texturing and all that, that you need to make sure you delete my type history. The problem now is that it's so infused into your head now that you need to stay away from delete history, because that will destroy your character rig if you accidentally click on this. So try to stay away from this, okay? Right? So we don't need to worry about any of this. These are really for modeling, texturing, and some other things. But when it comes to animating a character, you just want to ignore this stuff now. Okay. So we're going to create a quick select sets. The best way to do that is to go to Show and go to Viewport and turn off polygons. Okay. So the character's not in the way now, and that's easy to go ahead and select everything. Before we do that, though, I'm going to select animation on the shelf. Okay. And you notice I've already got this little icon here set up to where if I click on it, it will already open up all and select all of the controllers. Okay, so how do we make that? Okay, it's easy. So what you do is you want to go into this little guy right here. It looks like a piece of paper, and it's at the very, very lower right hand corner, and you just click on it, and you'll notice that you'll probably have some stuff in here, and that's fine, that's normal. But you want to go to let's see, edit and clear all. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to just kind of start with this open. You want to hit the Q key and just kind of click on the first one here, and then shift select each one of these, okay, as you're holding down the shift key, and continue selecting these, okay, just like that. And I'm going to rotate around so I can see what I'm doing here. Holding down the shift key, there we go, and rotate around. I'm just going to kind of hit all of these. Okay, hold down the shift key, continue holding it down, and until you can see what you're doing here. There we go. And just kind of click on this, and we're just going to go down the arm. Okay, and try not to miss anything. Okay, it gets a little bit crazier here with the hand. And don't worry if you select something twice, it's okay, it's not going to hurt anything. You just don't want to forget to select something. That's the key. Okay. And let me rotate around on this other side. And I'm not sure where I left off here. I probably didn't even start here, so I'm going to go ahead and click this, and this is not going to hurt anything. Okay, I'm going to select it anyway just to make sure. And if you select it twice, don't worry about it. It's okay. It won't make a bit of difference. So I'm going to get everything selected here. And continue up the back. And there might be some spots that I think maybe I forgot. I don't know. Okay. All right, so I think I got it all. And I think I got it all and then some. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this little guy right here will save script to shelf. It's the third one over. 1, 2, 3. And then if you hover over it, it says save script to shelf. So I'm going to click on that. Okay. And it's going to tell me, and of course I need to have this tab open up here, you know, animation. So I can call it anything I want to. I can call it Boney. Okay. Select, or whatever you want to call it. And I think I've already called it that. Let's see, let's call it Boney. All right. And I'm going to create that, and it's going to create it right here. You can see B-O-N-Y, and I'm going to go ahead and close this. Okay. So when I click off, I'm going to go into Boney and select it. Oh, what happened? Oh, it's because I already had it done over here. Let's go ahead and delete that one. So I'm going to select it. There we go. And you can see that it opens it up. And to know if you've got everything, you might want to check it just to make sure. So when you select it, we'll go ahead and hit the S key. And that will keyframe it. What you want to do is you want to select each one of these one by one and keep your eye on this. I'm going to move this down here so I can see this right here. And you keep your eye on that to see if you click on something and it doesn't have a keyframe. If it has a keyframe, you're good to go. So I'm just selecting everything just to make sure it all keyframed properly. Just make sure that that selection set is correct. And it's good to just test this because you don't want to be doing a really serious animation and realize that some of these aren't working. It's better to find out now than to find out later and realize, whoops, now I got to redo my animation, or I'm going to run into all kinds of problems. So it's good to check it. I know it's some of you are thinking you're wasting time, but wasting time will be if you don't check and then you run into an issue where you forgot one of these. And it's just good to double check everything. It's good practice to check everything. And then we're almost done. I think that's it. Top. That's all it takes, and we're good. Okay. Select everything again. Let's try that. There we go. And I think that actually worked. There we go. Yep. That actually got rid of that keyframe. Okay. All right, so let's get his geometry showing again. So we're going to go to Show, Viewport, and Geometry. Polygons. There we go. So he is ready to animate now. So you've got your script, your set selection script, and now it should be a lot easier to pose and animate and whatever you want to do with Boney in the next several modules that we have for this semester. All right, I will see you guys soon, and we'll talk more about posing. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Make sure you save your work. So File, Save As, and name it Ultimate Boney Start 01, and save it. All right, have a good one.